Yeah, and there you go. I just realized that. No, I'm glad you did. I'm talking, and I was getting ready to go check the sound, and I didn't hear the sound even. And I was like, wait a minute, something's wrong here. I had a problem with the logging into something this morning, and my Comcast is also running funky this morning. So between my Comcast and everything else, so nope, I hear me now loud and clear. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Doc from North America. So thank you, Robin. So I've been talking for 4.5, 5 minutes, but we are live now. Robin said, "Hey, I don't hear you." It's like, oh shoot, I don't hear me. I don't hear me either now. Now I do. So anyway, there we go. There's the dollar index. Now, why is that Bitcoin? I could have sworn I just put the dollar index up there. What is that? There it is, right there. Okay, so there's the dollar index. And you can see it's trying to pop up a little bit. Let's move it over more, like so. And you can see that right there. On the daily, it's trying to push up. Uh, you can see here, we don't have them on the same screen yet. Let's see what that says. Show header. We'll figure that out. We'll get them. We haven't gotten a chance to get to that. Yesterday we got pulled in different directions as usual because of the actions in the market. But you can see here we are moving up with the Hinky Ashkey, and you can see that the green line is 44, and you can see the golden dashed line was at 32. So the green line has moved up ahead, and then when we go and look at it on Chicago Quant, right there, going to be seeing the same action there too. You can see it's moving up. It's 460 up. I don't know why we have that big thick line, but we'll fix that. Make it a dotted line, like so. And all right, we'll leave the blue in there. The cyan looks kind of neat, and you can see right there it's up 460, and so we're seeing obviously interest rates are rising. That's what's going on. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 382 points. The markets are running all over the place. The Manhattan indicator on the new formula here. Again, we haven't combined the two below, but you can see the difference between the boxes, and that's just as good for the time being. Obviously, it's a lot more descript when you see the green line go through the dashed line, but you can see it through the boxes. That's sitting there at 30, was that 32, and that's at 44. So you know that the green line is higher. All right, and then the bars are in the Hinky Ashkey mode. We go like that, and then you can see the normal bars. I think that's how you do it. There it is, like that. And you can see it's trying to lift up. Actually, at this point in time, it's just like Chicago Quant over here, just barely unchanged. You know, not a lot of action. And it went into the buy yesterday, right here on our work. Let's refresh that because yesterday it was in a buy. Let's go over there and do that too. There we are. There we go. So went into the buy there yesterday. There we go. There's the green line. We'd like to remind you with a green line. Even when it's through the zero line, it's, you know, you can see there where it says plot 1 in the black square box, it says 3.74, whereas the day before it's minus 31. Once they get through the zero line, that's the buy signal. When they close through it, without a doubt, it is telling us go, 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 go. Let's get another one of these in the dash like that. There we are. There's your weekly right there. You can see it's turning up at the same time. And we look at the Hinky, there we go. We look at the dollar index the same way, and we put up the, let's see, where's it at? Why is it? It's calculating the Hinky Ashkeys, I guess that's what it is. We're getting used to the J4X 4 platform. It's a very nice platform. And let's see if we can put the weekly in there and see what that looks like. And let's see, why are we not seeing Hinky Ashkey bars? What do we have to do here to do that? I guess we have to do an insert. So we'll just do this again. Edit indicator. Cancel. Add indicator. Let's see, where's it at? We're still learning how to use this, so we'll explore around it, but I'm not sure why Hinky ASCII is not up on there. We'll just keep on pushing on that. We just had it. I thought yesterday we had no problem turning it on and off. We'll get it to we'll figure it out sooner or later. Maybe we have to just add it in again. Add indicator. Let's see, where's that? Insert indicator? Insert indicator again. Let's do that. Since I mentioned the Doc's Manhattan indicator. Add an indicator. What's this? On price. Okay. Alright, let's do it this way. We're going to go the old-fashioned way. Let me kill this volume over here too. There we go. Add an indicator. And let's see if we can find it. Yesterday it jumped right up. Let's see. Indicators, drawings. And I have it right there. Why doesn't it want to turn on? Show. All right, let's try that. There we go. Just had to right click it and put the word show in there. Now you can see here on the weekly, it's doing the same thing as we have on Chicago Quant. And we use the Chicago Quant to show the level of accuracy of the Manhattan indicator. You can see all these weeks in a cell. Same thing over here. Only difference is instead of Hinky ASCII bars, we have little dots, cute little dots in there. And they can go up on the regular bar chart. And at the same time, it shows you the weekly indicator down here at the bottom, the algorithm of it. And you can see this sliding down. I would like to say this is the cousin of the Manhattan indicator. The Manhattan indicator is something we developed for Ducoscopy, so we could have the most accurate public indicator floating around. Whereas, you know, like MACDs and so forth are laggards to this indicator, not leading indicators, but lagging indicators. Let's see. All right, let's go from there. Well, if anybody cares to see anything, it's kind of a slow start here on Friday. Not counting the fact that I was talking for about 4 or 5 minutes without anybody hearing me. Let's go over to the euro itself. And there is the euro. And as you can see there, it's having a little pressure on the downside. We'll put it up over on Chicago Quant. Like that. There we go. And let's put the euro up on there. We like to show both charts. As you can see there, we're doing the same thing. You see this weakness right there. You see it's generating a red dot and it's pressing down. The Manhattan indicator on Ducoscopy will start to turn red soon. Let's put the daily up there because we have the weekly up there at the moment. There's the daily. Okay, it's already doing it. See it right there? It's starting to turn red, joining in with this. And we'll see if they close in a sell tonight, which would mean it closes below this line there, the zero line. And obviously, when you look at the weekly is just going and going and going. Same thing over here. We'll put it back up on the screen. And there is the weekly. You see that strength rolling along. Rolling along. And that's what it seems like it's consistently doing too. Is the euro is, no matter what kind of noise they're having over there right now, of all this, I don't know, extracurricular activities of money and politicians, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Everything is so upside down over there. This is just maybe in many ways, maybe we're coming to the end of some of this crazy. You know, this has been really insane for a while now, you know, for decades. You know, slowly drifting towards a low productive economy. I don't understand what that logic's all about, but holding somebody back is not a way to make everybody even. I think Kurt Vonnegut wrote a wonderful story about that. So it goes from there. We drift over to the British pound, which closed in the daily sell yesterday, which was interesting. You can see the weekly here. It's going to pop up in a few seconds, and we'll put it over here on Chicano. Right there. You see it's holding up very well inside its weekly, just like it's doing right here on J4X. And we'll slide in the daily. And there's the daily. You can see 2 days in a sell now. Same thing here. We went into the sell yesterday also right there. I had the little red dot. It was beautiful. Everything played out well. I'm not totally convinced they're going to be slamming these things since their weeklies look so strong. But we'll keep an eye on it, and like we do every day, and see how it plays out in the end. And there's a sell there. All right. Really quiet this morning, huh, Robin? What a battle with... I had a wrong password or something in the J4X4. Boy, I battled with that for like 4 or 5 minutes, and I was talking at the same time. And crazy, crazy. And then Giannis is going off on holiday. So it's just like one thing after another. All right, from there... Oh, there we go. What do we got? Hey, Giannis, take a look at Bitcoin. Yeah, that's a good idea. Because Bitcoin's in a daily sell now for 3 days. Oh, you didn't get the charts last night because my Comcast is still down. I can't get my email going on Comcast, but you will see the charts from last night. But let's put it up on there. It's the third day now in a sell. Where's it at? Right there. You know, it had rebounded very well with all the noise in the crypto universe, but it is now, you know, you went into the sell here. It's also battling with the weekly buy at the same time. Very interesting battle going on here. You know, I'm convinced, you know, it'll close up in a weekly buy, no problem. And maybe the selling is just temporary as far as I'm concerned because of the strength in the weekly. We'll see how they act next week, but it's been in a buy all the way up into there, and then it finally slid into the sell. Actually, it's trying to say we went into the sell 3 days ago, and this is the 4th day now. Yeah, so we're 3 days in a sell. That's been pretty tenacious on the downside in the sense of, you know, we went over the 1,800. We've dropped now over $1,000 in the product. That's like a, what is that? That's something like a 7% drop. It's a pretty aggressive drop, almost 8% drop. Now, but notice it is locked in that 16,000 area. Let's put it up on J4X. There it is. And here it comes. And you see the same situation on the daily. Oh, no, actually it's not. It's on a second day of sell there. And you can see the, was it 35 and 55. So the green line is definitely below the dashed line of the two indicators. I was at a meeting until late night, same today, not looking at much. I hear you. I'm going to check my email again to see if I can finally send it out, but it's been funky monkey. It really has been funky monkey. I'm not getting emails, and I'm not able to transmit emails. I'm not even able to go in and look at old emails. So they say the server is having a problem or something. But there's Bitcoin, and you know, looking pretty consistent. You know, I'm impressed that it moved as well as it did over here. You know, when I'm looking at that, that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the weekly. I imagine the weekly is the same way. It's probably lifting into the buy. It should be green. There it comes. Yeah. Matter of fact, it's on a second week of it, no less. So it's really trying to punch its way up. And, it's just having, days of selling here since Tuesday. Closed in a sell Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and today's Friday right there. All right. Now, let me just double check something here. Okay, yeah, that's it. And if I go like this, let's stick this in there like that. Close. So where's the 12th? It's missing somewhere. We're missing a day in there. We'll have to figure that out. Let me go over to here. It's a very strange little beastie at times. Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay. There we are. There's Monday. I guess that's Monday. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's what it is. All right. What are you thinking? Anything particular on that? Let's see. Robin says, Mazars has stopped all accounting for their crypto clients. This whole thing is turning into, has turned into one big mess. An exchange going upside down. What a drag that is, basically the exchange. It's like the OCC taking off with all the money or something. That's what's very strange about it. What else can we say about it? Not much more to be said, I guess. I guess over the months and years it'll all play out. Darn your bureaucracy. Yeah, really. And usually we usually see the Federal Reserve doing something like lending money to somebody. I've been very confused over the years. The disaster is here. I say, there's a news coming out in about crypto bankruptcies. Okay. I offered to issue a statement Dukascopy, crypto storing and audits, but it got stuck in approval. Figures, because it's very responsible. Figures, totally. Now I understand why you said darn bureaucracy. Yeah, I don't really think Ethereum and Bitcoin are going to have much of a problem. They seem to show that they are healthy products, controlled by healthy people, legitimate people. But after that, to a great extent, criminals have really come in and taken advantage of it all. All right. From there, I guess, think about it this way. The COMEX used to hold in the vault all that metal. And so when it traded on the trading floor, it was pretty much 99.7% of all gold traded on the floors and silver on the floors was in the vault. It was guaranteed. It was there. There was no doubt about it. So when a contract was traded and someone wanted to exercise that contract, they knew they could get that metal. Now you turn it in this way. Didn't you, Robin, just say that was it in the beginning of the week? You said the COMEX only has 50% of all silver in the vault. And when it comes to gold, they only have like 1% of all silver traded in the vault. That's it, 1%, not 100%, 1%. So Bankman was probably figuring, if that exchange can get away with it, why can't I? And I guess he figured he was going to become the most powerful crypto exchange. And then over the years, the money would come back slow and steady. And no one would do an audit. And no one would know. And so, he probably took the same attitude. Yeah, and not all of it is deliverable. Right, exactly. They're holding it for other people, not for the exchange itself, but it just happens to be in their vaults. And so, why not that FTX group? Why don't they pull the same shenanigans? Well, they did. They burned up and moved around the money So I think they had overall, I think they had $8 billion of client money at one point, or maybe more. Maybe it was 16 billion, something like that. But now they probably only have about $1.5 billion in assets. Now they were trading it, unfortunately, moving it over to their hedge fund, and the hedge fund was poorly managed and lost, 90% of all of its equity. So it's lost in the market. There's no doubt about that. Now they're going to find maybe $1 billion here and $1 billion there, in property and so forth. That's why the people on the island where he's locked up is not allowed to. They can't access him. In other words, the Americans can't access him and arrest him and bring him home because they have skin in the game also. In other words, they need to take care of their people. So it's going to be a very confusing, frustrating adventure out of it all. It's pretty clear though. Just when you look at and you could literally say it, when you look at the COMEX policy and how it has shifted since quantitative easing in 2008 going into 2009. I guess it was 2009 it shifted. So you didn't have to have gold at the exchange to trade gold. You didn't have to, if you wanted to sell a contract, you didn't have to have gold sitting there. If you wanted to buy gold, you just put your money in. But if you wanted to sell gold, you had to have gold to deliver. Well, he's just taking a classic play, from it itself. Hey, Green Planet, FTX trying to be clever. Do you remember Maxwell doing this in the days before? Maxwell. Which one's Maxwell? Bahamas arrested him and are set to extradite. They're trying. The Americans are trying to get him. They will get him, but they're trying to get some, I guess, a pound of flesh also. Pure unadulterated greed and fraud. Who is Maxwell? Which one's Maxwell? Are you talking about that pedophile island, the sex thing? She's in prison right now, where she was selling young girls or something like that. Is that what you mean? I don't get it really. What was SBF spending his money on? Not barbers, clearly. Maxwell was one of the biggest media moguls. Maxwell. Huh. I don't know. If from the United States? I agree. It's totally greed. There's no doubt about that. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Okay. Didn't know that. So Maxwell, what media company is it? Is it like the Daily Mirror or something like that? Maxar is a huge accounting firm. Oh, it's an accounting firm. Okay. So, no, I didn't know anything about that. They're hiding all the information on her too. We rarely see her. She's nowhere to be found also. So it's like we know she's in jail, of course, but nope, the media won't talk about any of these people. They won't talk about anything. Robert Maxwell. Yes, I recognize Robert Maxwell's name now. I remember Robert. That's what it is. I never thought of him as Maxwell. When I think of Maxwell, I think James Clerk Maxwell, the scientist. That's my brain defaults to that instantly. Yeah, Ian Robert Maxwell. Okay, born Czechoslovakia. Born, let's see, British media proprietary member of Parliament (MP) and suspected spy and fraudster. Oh, okay. There's Robin. Hey, Robin, what's cooking? Ah.
That's what it is. Okay, bye.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Robin says it was an accounting firm, Max R. That's what he's talking about. They've stopped doing accounting. So you have two different organizations there. Max R is an accounting organization. Maxwell is Christine Maxwell's father. I get it. Okay. Wow. The web. It's like a spider web. All right. From there we drift over to. So we did euro and we did British pound. I think we did British pound. Did we do it? Yeah. There's British pound. And there's it on the weekly. Let's put the daily in there. Yeah, cryptos are going to survive all this. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, not some of them may go under because they're just illegal operations to begin with. Now they're going to be scrutinized. So that makes total sense. All right, yeah, that's we left off at that. Let's just put the daily in right there. There we go. You can see it matches up with this. Green Planet says, yes, Robert, and no, something different. Yeah, I see. I see. Yeah, either way, there's going to be scrutinization. Now, the Federal Trade Commission is finally going to do its job and pay attention. And fooled them by moving hundreds of millions around in a circle. Yeah, like, what was his name? Gleason from the Queen's Bank. Baring Bank, yeah, where it kind of floated back and forth between Singapore and Tokyo for like 9 months before they realized how much he had lost. Back then, he lost a couple billion, which wiped out Baring Bank. Now it's owned by somebody else. I think they still use the name since it's one of the oldest banks in the world. All right, and then from there, we go over to the yen. Let's see what the yen is up to this morning. And there it is right there, dollar yen. Trying to perk its head up today, right there in the daily. I think it went into the buy on our work yesterday. Let's see. Yeah, right there. You see in plot 1, it says 0.04, whereas the day before, you see it says minus 0.39. So it closed in the daily buy yesterday. And it doesn't look like it's going to try to get into a weekly, obviously, today. But next week it could be challenging the weekly again. We might start seeing strength in that. And let's see, Gleason was in charge of front office and back office at the same time. Yeah. And this was known about Baring Bank. Yeah, by the way. Yeah, I remember, hearing about that. Because I was going to go to Singapore and trade out of it, and I was in Chicago at the time, and I was going to jump off to San Francisco for a couple months on the San Francisco exchange floor, and then go from there to Singapore, and we were setting up operations on and we were going to go all the way down to Australia because they kept on offering us 3 free seats or something in my company. So it was like, okay, why not? We'll see if we can put a trader down there. But Singapore, we had heard about that they kept on asking for the money, to set the account, and he kept on using the excuse of the time difference. And so he was able to hide that for about, 6-7 months. But the back office knew something was wrong right off. That's why they kept on asking literally almost every day. He kept on making excuses. But that's what's going to happen now with all the cryptos. They're going to be scrutinized now. When someone comes Dogecoin, when Musk came out with Dogecoin, they'll scrutinize it. They'll pay attention to who's putting it out. They'll take a look see the assets backing it. They'll go through all of that now. They're going to start. They'll pay attention to it all. Because this was an exchange that collapsed, so that really makes it bad. It's one thing to create a product and then people don't want it and they don't buy it and it goes down. That makes sense. But when you park something in allegedly a neutral entity like an exchange where they're just exchanging it and holding it, like I said, it's just like COMEX. What happened? What are they going to do? I guess what they'll do is in the end they call it force de jure. When the day does come when people demand for the metal to be exercised, they'll just have to go force de jure and close. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they kept on seeing money on paper. Exactly. Yep. It was only on paper, though, unfortunately. Now, here is the Swiss. You can see Swiss is trying to lift up this morning. Right there. We're seeing the same action right there, as you can see. The it's trying to lift. Let's widen that out a little bit more for you to see better. You can see it's red and a green at the moment, but it's through the line. And you can see the weekly is trying to get through the line also. It's very close. And that could be if I don't know, it's so hard to believe. You would think with the way things are happening in the States at the moment, you would be I'm kind of surprised in many ways that currencies go down against the dollar. He bet against China. How do you bet against China? I mean, how do you bet with China? They don't have a currency. I guess they have a cryptocurrency that we don't know about. How do you bet against China? The yuan? The Hong Kong dollar? What were they doing it in? Back then, I don't think $1 billion could slide into China very easily. I mean, nowadays you can move billion in and out of China, but back in the 80s, I doubt it. That would upset the whole apple cart over there. The yen. So China was using the yen? Okay. All right. The yen, that can handle it. Matter of fact, they just increased their defense budget by $300 billion. $300 billion. All right. From there, we did the yen, didn't we? Yeah, we did the yen. There's the yen there. You can see that one day trying to pop up. And we did have the yen up there. There it is right there. We're on the second day on the upside. Okay. Now let's go over to the Turkish lira. See what the Turkish lira is up to this morning. We've stopped paying attention to the Turkish lira and the dollar. It's just too choppy. It's better to just look at it through the euro. And you can see here on the daily, very strong for a bunch of days. And let's see, where are we at there? Right there. Now you can see a little weakness kicking in at the moment. And we are, oh yeah, you can see that right there. We are minus at the moment on Chicago Quant. All right, then this will catch up soon. This will come back soon. Let's see what the weekly looks like on this. But usually it's only an hour or so behind our math. Maybe 2 hours. And then you can see here, this is the weekly on the euro, and you can see same thing, very firm, lots of green here on J4X. What's the yellow is, what do we have there? The yellow is trading at 88, and the green is trading at 87. So it's just, the green line is breaking down a little bit as we speak. Planet says, I have a dwelling in Turkey, so maybe I can now live like a millionaire. A dwelling. Okay. That's nice. Did you just buy it, or you've been in it, or what's going on there? And then from there, we're going to go over to the two currencies that act like commodities. 10 years ago, okay. Yeah, I imagine, what's real estate inflation look like over there? What you paid for it 10 years ago, how much more is it now, percentage-wise? Let's see, where's CAD? Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD. Okay, we just put it in, that's all. Only 15%? That's hard to believe. 10%? It only went up 10%? With the currency inflation that we've seen, the currency inflation is up what? I don't know. It went from, the Turkish lira went from 1 lira to the dollar to 19 lira to the dollar. I would have thought real estate would have gained more. Is there price controls on it? Let's see if that'll do it. Well, wrong place. Let's try it one more time. There it is. There's the CAD. I'll put it up over here. And there's the Canadian dollar. You can see it went into a buy yesterday right there. This is the second day in a buy. Let's make it a daily. Okay, there's the weekly. Weekly's acting better now. And you see we're 2 weeks in a buy here. And J4X is 3 weeks in a buy now. And the green line is definitely through the dashed line. There's no doubt about that. You can see that's at 51. This is at 73 up top here. And then let's go to the daily. Yeah, I'm amazed that they could keep property prices so low. I might be wrong there. Lots of building of houses there in tourist areas. Okay. Yeah, I would assume that whatever you paid for it back 10 years ago, I have to believe that it's trading at least twice the amount. Not 10%. That's what I'm thinking. And let's see what else. There's a Canadian. Now let's take a look at the oil. We'll put it up on Chicago Quant, and then we'll put it up over there. There's oil moving down today. It stayed in the buy yesterday, but it's moving down now. And that's probably why Canadian is moving up like this. That makes total sense. They work in opposite directions. Let's hope so, yeah. Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, I would have to think that, you could sell for like 2 or 3 times more than what you paid for it. When you have inflation, it goes from 1 to 19 on your currency. You would think that the real estate prices would also jump to compensate for that. Now let's put crude oil in there. Let's see, what is the symbol for crude? Is that there? Yeah. No. That stays. There. All right, it's loading in now so we can get the crude price. We'll put that up on J4X. Yesterday we got so much involved in indicators and so forth. Let's see, yeah, let's hope so. Okay, so yours is today. Okay, you can have it for only 2 times what it was paid for. I would think that there's buyers out there going for it all over the place. And let's see, what do we do for crude? Let's put in light.cmd. Okay. Where's Mr. Mouse? And you can see crude moving down like that there. Let's put crude in here. What is that? Light. Let me put that back up there again. There it is. And we go like that. LIGHT dot. There it is right there. You see same thing there. Daily is moving down red wise. We don't have a dot yet, I don't think. Just move that over just to see. Yeah, we do. We have a red dot right there. Okay. So this thing's pressing into the sell also, and it's below the 0 line. If it stays here, it will go into a sell. Let's see. Okay, it's yours today. You can have it for 2 times what was paid. I hear. I have no interest to move to Turkey. None whatsoever. Not counting. You should look at that, though. I mean, you might have an opportunity to sell your property and buy another property for less money that's more desirable. You might. You don't know. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put Brent in here too, because since we didn't have Brent in there before, let's get Brent in there now. Since this way on Monday we're not doing all this. So Brent.cmd. Brent. Yeah, let's try that again. Yeah. Brent. There it is. And as you can see there, you do your transaction in euros instead of lira. And let's see. There is the Brent. It's moving down also same way. And you can see the green line is 75 and change. And the yellow dashed line is 78. So the green line is underneath the dashed line now. All right. Now from there, we'll move over to gold. Pounds. Yeah, pounds are cool too. Let's see. Where do we go from here? We go from there, from Brent. Oh, now we're going to go look at the South African Rand. So that is USD. And it's ZAR. Because is it dot or what? What is that? Let me just double check. Hold on a second. Gotta look closer. Dot. No, bar. Slash. Okay. Slash ZAR. There it is. And let's take a look at gold. That was just on the edge this morning. Yeah, it closed in a sell and was trying to lift up. It's still rolling over, as you can see right here. But the price has moved back up. And you're seeing that same game right there. And we'll put gold in. Let's see, what's that say? That says 90, right? No, it says 50. Green line is 50. And the dashed line is 42 or 41, about 41. So I'm a little surprised it keeps on moving up. Well, yesterday they smacked it, so that makes sense. Let's just put it up on Chicago Quant. You'll see what I'm talking about right there. Yeah. So yesterday, the South African Rand lifted up, and it's going into the buy today. We had a red and a green, red, green, and the weekly is having no problem. It's going to close in a weekly buy. That's what's going on there. Unless the markets turn around dramatically, it's going to be in a weekly buy, which is very bearish for gold. Let's hope it starts to change directions. There we go. Now let's put in gold here. This way we don't have to do this anymore. I can just go down the line like we normally do. Yeah, there's South African Rand. Okay, and politics. All that right there is politics. A lot of this could be politics more than anything else. All right, from there we're going to go down to gold, which is XAU. Just to get it in there. Right there. You can see it's going down for a second day, having that pressure on it. Let's just put it up on Chicago Quant again. But it's moving up. Well, I'm sure it's moving up higher on that too if we weren't looking at Hinky Ashki. Where's it at? Right there. And there's the gold, yeah. You can see that moving up a little bit now. All right. From there, we drift over to, I guess we do the Mexican peso. I guess that's what it is. We go from the South African Rand down to the Mexican peso. Right there. You can see it's lifting, and it's second week in a weekly buy. I'm not sure where our line got to, but that's usually not a good sign. Now it's finally. I thought for sure this thing was going to break. It had that look like it wanted to break the total range, but it failed at it. And let's put that in there. What is that? That is USDM something or other. So we'll go USD/M Mexican peso right there. And you'll see that moving up also at the same time. Right there, same game. And let's take a look at the weekly. Probably 2 green bars, if not 3. Getting closer. It's going to spill out any second now. It's loading. Yeah, 2 bars. So we're seeing that same strength kick in. And we're heading back into the buy. That sell was barely anything. It just kind of rode around and went sideways down and sideways up again. Yo, Pro Trust, I have something for you. I've kept on following the euro after it fell down. Let's go to that. I want to show that to you. I wrote on there. It was really cute. Let's see. What am I loading in? That one right there. There we go. Check this out. And if you need to see anything, let me know. Let's see where it is. Right there. Check this out yesterday. It's the classic Doc math. There we go. That's where we were right before the before it all. Remember we didn't get the buy signal. It missed it by just a smidgen. And then it put you into a buy here. And then you can see it made it all back over the next 3 or 4 bars. Classic Doc math. And stayed in a buy all the way up to here. So once it went into the buy here, it ran all the way up to here before it went into a sell. I guess it was right here. So that's what's beautiful. And I put 8.5 out of 10. That's what's beautiful about the math. It always, when you lose, it finds a way to make your money back for you. It's so cool that it does that. It does that all the time. Okay, so let's see. I sold it. My channel. Make the screen big. Okay, here we go. There we go. So that's where we were. It pushed itself into a sell. Just missed catching that nice move right there, you know. And I thought, let me just follow it for a little bit. After the webinar, I checked it a couple times and realized I should have mentioned that to you. Is that when you get a loss in our math, it comes back and makes money. Now, I mean, you can get crazy, like increase your lots and things like that. That's part of the strategy even. And that's not counting the 8.5. That raises the profit margin much higher. But the success rate of signals itself is 8.5 out of 10 on average. So, and there's your classic. There was the loss right there. It turns around and goes and finds money for you again. I get SL. Is that stop loss? I get stop loss more often. I hear you. Yeah, so that's where that's at. Now let's go look at it live at this moment in time. That's where it is right now. It's been in the sell from right here. No, it's been in the sell from right here, right there, right here. And oh no, I think it went into the buy. Let's see. Was that the buy? Let's get a line in there. No. So it didn't get into the buy at all. It went into the sell here, and it's still in the sell and getting ready to go into the buy. Because that was, and let me widen that so you can see it even better. See how it's underneath the zero lines, each one of them. And when we finally get above the zero line right there, we got a red and a green, so you can't take the trade. It still keeps you in the old trade. And then it breaks down. Let's see. Gleason bet on the Nikkei rising after a collapse. So not JPY as previously mentioned. He bought 20,000 future contracts. Yeah, he was doing all kinds of stupid things. I hear you. Yeah, yeah, I remember that because I was trading the Nikkei too at the same time. I was in Chicago trading the Nikkei, and they had started the Nikkei contract, and I figured I was going to train some people. San Francisco, I was going to be at least 6 hours difference or something like that, time zone wise, or I don't know. I was going to be on the West Coast. So then I figured from there I could go to Singapore, and we could try to look around, see if we could hire some people and train them our way, and then they would trade on the floor for us, that type of thing. And then I'd move on to Australia, and then we would have Australia all the way, and then we'd go. I would keep on going around the world and have traders in all the different places. All right, where do we go from here? I guess we go. What's that? That is what am I looking at there? We're looking at euro. Oh, that's right. We're looking at a euro on a short-term basis. That's what it is. So, no, it went into the buy here, and it's going to keep on pushing, I'd imagine. Did it happen? One guy I trained ended up in London. Riz, he was in London. I think him and another trader. And I'm trying to think. They since they were out of the States, they ended up opening up their own operation and left our firm. And I never got past Chicago. The wife wouldn't go. The wife would not go. She didn't. She liked Chicago, but she wasn't willing to go to San Francisco, and she was like, "Hell no!" Before I go to Singapore. Yeah, I know. I agree. I agree. That would have been a fun adventure around. DocDow would have been in everywhere. But I was a member of like 6 or 7 different exchanges here, so it was okay. It was fun times. All right, now from there, not a big life change, not really. I ended up getting involved in the hedge fund industry in Connecticut, so it was okay. Just the way it rolls sometimes, just what it is. All right, now from there, let's jump over to, what did we do? We did all the currencies. Now let's jump over to the metals. Let's see what silver's doing this morning. We saw oil's down, and there is silver. It closed in a sell yesterday also. It was down more. You can see that right there. And now it's trying to get back to flat. The weekly is still strong. Now let's put silver in here. Let's see, what's the symbol for silver? Silver is X, or is it the XAG? That's what it is, XAG. XAG. There we are. And there's silver trading under 23. You just cannot get these metals to go. You would think, in many ways, I hear old Wall Street voices of old heads. When I was young, them saying stuff like, "Well, sell on the news," buy the rumor. Well, maybe inflation is at the end of its road, not at the beginning of it. This is not going to be 1970s. So, Reagan got into office and inflation peaked and went down for the rest of our lives. And this is a 40-year high in inflation, so maybe this is going to be a peak and it'll go down the same way. You see, and Trust Trader says, "Can I get you indicator on my screen and check it? I do not usually trade with indicators. They lag behind, in my opinion. But don't know. In my opinion, don't know. Or I just hadn't meant to clear the stuff. Hard to say. You can put up the one on Chicago on J4X. You can use the Hinky-Ashke bars and the fast. In that case, the green line is the fast stochastic, and that is the slow stochastic, and they compete against each other. You can put them on your machine. We charge for ours, and it's a pretty penny. It takes a lot of money to get it. So, should we look at the stock indice real quick? See what's going on there? Remember, this is triple witching in an hour. So there's $3.7 trillion going to expire today. That could be a lot of fun, you know. It's going to be a bumpy ride. I don't think the Dow's going to go running up 2,000 points or something like that. Don't believe that whatsoever. There's the S&P 500. Let's put that up on the screen right there, and that is USA 500. There we go. Let's put it up over here on Chicago Quant. You see it's still heading down. Pressure's on the sell for a second day, and weekly sell is being pierced with no problem, as you can see there. Let's just make it bigger. There's Mr. Mouse. There's Mr. Mouse. Right there, you can see that. The weekly is being pierced. What time? I see. What do you mean, Pro? Trust Trader, your what time? Okay, you can have the house straight swap for your indicator. Unfortunately, I think I have many more years of trading in me. So my indicator is not going to be a public indicator for a long time. Maybe I'll do that thing where it can be a public indicator after I've passed on. This way, I want to use it for the rest of my life and not have much competition. Let's see. Oh, 7.8 billion. I heard that. What is there? I heard another one too from Goldman Sachs. See, there's 3.7 trillion that need to be. What do they call it? It's going to expire at the opening of the New York Stock Exchange. But then that's in options and futures. And then there's going to be. There's more. There's like what was it? Goldman Sachs said there's another 38 billion that needs to be bought or something like that. Oh, here you go. I'm seeing a headline on Bitcoin tumbles as Beyonce proof of reserves removed from auditor's site. Okay. Or is that okay. And let me see. Futures tumble 4 trillion quad witch hour. And I saw Goldman say something. Let me see if I can find the money. It's here somewhere. Let's see. Friday's liquidity vortex may spark $135 billion in forced selling. That's what it is. I think that was a Goldman statement. That I think they've already put it into the market the way they've knocked it down. Dow is down like 400 points. So we have about another 57 minutes before we see any of that. I guess we got to come up with a title for this show too today. Anybody need to see anything particular? We'll show it to you. Doc, can you peek at an Australian dollar for me? Sure. There we go. There's the Australian dollar. And you can see here it's in its sell for a second day. And you can see the weekly is just plus by the hair of its chinny chin. That's like right there. You can see there it says let's see, let's get that fixed. Format, style, there we go. I'm not sure why that didn't show it, but oh, wait a second. Yeah, that should be showing it. It's showing that the bar is at 0.00064. I'm not sure why it's not showing that. Let's try that again. Is that right? Let's just move this around for a second to see. Yeah, that's right. Now, why are you not showing me that? Oh, I know why. It's not showing the price. That's what it is. There we go. There we go. Now you'll be able to see it. Hold on a second. There we go. See, there's the weekly. It's just sitting by the hair of its chinny chin right on the edge there. Now, it's been in a weekly buy since here. Let's put that in there too. It closed in a weekly buy that week. Wrong color. There we go. So it closed in a weekly buy back there. And had a nice ride. You know, it came from the, what is that? The 63 area, 64 area, ran all the way up to the 68 area. It was a nice move. How's that, Kimbo? A-okay? Let's fix that grid too. Let's see, appearance. XY. Would like to see the lines straighten out. Why are we not seeing the grid? Let's see if we change the color, it might help it. Ah, there they are. That's better. There we go. Now you can see all the lines. And it's, you know, and you can see the daily went into the sell there. So, cool. All right, traders. We have to come up with a title here. We got to put something out there. So, what do we call today? Also, Janos, you be safe, you be smart. And we'll throw you in the prayers while you're out there having a holiday for 2 weeks. Let's see. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. And let's see. What do we got going on here now? So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders.